Hello, I'm Leslie Collum, Voter Service Chair of the League of Women Voters of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. And on behalf of the League, I am pleased to welcome you to this candidate forum sponsored by the League in partnership with Rutherford County TV. The League believes that candidate forums provide an excellent format for voters to become more familiar with the candidates and their positions. We appreciate the support from Rutherford County government provided by Brian Robertson, CIO at the Office of Information Technology, and Lee Harris at RCTV. They and their staffs enable broadcasting and streaming of our forums to reach a large number of voters. The League seeks to conduct our forums in a nonpartisan manner. Key participants, especially the moderator, are not publicly aligned with any candidate. In the upcoming Rutherford County general election, you will be voting for important positions in county government, such as county mayor, county sheriff, county school board, and county commissioners. Early voting starts July 13th and runs through July 28th. In a process that's new this year and implemented by the Rutherford County Election Commission to increase voter convenience, on Election Day itself, that's August 2nd, you'll be able to vote at any one of the voting centers located throughout Rutherford County. To learn which voting location will be best for you on Election Day, visit the Rutherford County Election Commission at www.ruco.vote. We thank you for your attention as you hear these candidates introduce themselves and answer questions about pertinent issues facing our county. We hope you find this forum useful in deciding the candidates you choose to support. Remember, your vote gives you a prime opportunity to influence how government is conducted in Rutherford County. Please make your decision known by voting. Thank you for joining us, and remember, your vote counts.
Good evening. My name is Laura Clark, and I will be the moderator for this candidate forum. The forum is co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, and the Rutherford County Office of Information Technology. The League believes that candidate forums provide an excellent way for voters to become more familiar with candidates and their positions. It is my pleasure to welcome both our audience here at the County Courthouse and our viewers at home to this program. This evening, we will be hearing remarks from the candidates for Rutherford County Sheriff. Before introducing the candidates, I would like to outline the procedure for the forum. Each candidate will be asked to make an opening statement in a 2-minute period. When all candidates have completed the opening statement, then several additional questions will be asked. The candidates will respond to each of those questions with a 1-minute answer. The candidates will be allowed 2 minutes to answer the last question and make any closing remarks. I will begin by introducing each candidate. I want to thank each of them for accepting our invitation to participate in this event. Speaking first is Mr. Mike Fitzhugh. Mr. Fitzhugh, you may make your opening statement and you will have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I want to thank the League of Women Voters for this opportunity to address you tonight. I am Mike Fitzhugh. I am the interim sheriff of Rutherford County, serving since January 2017. I'm a graduate of Murfreesboro Central High School, graduate of Middle Tennessee State University. I've got 25 years in the corporate world in human resources, business office management, equal employment coordinator, and the employment office. In taking office, and I'm also married to Janice Alsop, the former Janice Alsop, who was born and raised here in Murfreesboro. In taking office in 2017, I made some promises to the commission that one of the things that we would do would be to provide effective leadership to the sheriff's office, and I have done that since taking office. We have recertified our jail. We've done that twice with no defects. That was one of the things that when I took office, the jail was decertified. I established a command staff that we put able-bodied leaders in position, and that we are matching people's skill sets where they were able to lead the various divisions that we have in the Sheriff's Office. So I think that we have created a healthy working environment. We have built trust with the community, we've built trust with our employees, and we've built trust with the commission and the mayor. We have also taken a very hard look at our budget, and we have reduced considerably the budget and returned $2.3 million in my first 6 months in office.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzhugh. Our next candidate is Mr. Bill West. Mr. West, you may make your opening statement. You will have 2 minutes.
All right, thank you. First off, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters also for this forum. It's always a great opportunity to get the word out and let the citizens see as well as hear the viewpoints of us, the candidates. My name is Bill West. I am an independent candidate for sheriff. I'm a 33-year veteran of the Sheriff's Office. I have worked in each division of the Sheriff's Office except for corrections in my career. For the past 25 years, I've been assigned to the School Resource Officer Division, which has quickly become a highly specialized unit of school-based policing. And my wife and I are both MTSU graduates, and we've raised our 3 children here in Rutherford County Schools. And the things that I have learned as working as a deputy sheriff and detectives, narcotics investigations, patrol, and then most of my career being in school-based policing has really led me to the position where I am now, that I know that I'm ready to give back to the community in the ways that I've learned to police, and that is bringing the community together, children, the family as a whole, working with community resources, and as we expand that from a school setting across the county, I think that's going to be a way for us to reduce the crime in our county and have a better way of living, better way of life. And but once again, I thank you for being here, and I'm asking for your vote on August 2nd for sheriff.
Thank you, Mr. West. And now let us go to the first question. You have, and Mr. West, you will be the first respondent. You've told us some about your law enforcement background, and please tell us more about that, but specifically, how does your background effectively prepare you to serve as sheriff of Rutherford County?
As the sheriff of Rutherford County, the sheriff's office, I know that it includes so many different divisions, so many aspects of policing through our corrections, our jail, detention center, through all the different divisions that we have. But where I have focused most of my career in the school-based policing, I think that is what set me. I've learned so much about that, and like I said in my opening my opening comments, was that over the years, and it's not just security for children, but it's being a part of their lives and being a part of families and the whole neighborhood, the whole community, and I think that's what has prepared me for this. All right.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. West. Mr. Fitzhugh, please tell us about your law enforcement background. And how does your background effectively prepare you to serve as sheriff of Rutherford County?
Okay, well, my background is twofold. One, as I stated, was in the business world. I was a business manager for 25 years with a corporation, all in management, dealing with human resources, budgeting, employment, and so forth. 20 years with the Sheriff's Office in communications, civil, criminal warrants, records, and patrol division. So I've got a varied background. The Sheriff's Office today, and the sheriff in particular, has to deal with many business decisions that are outside of law enforcement. And so my background has prepared me to be able to deal with the problems that are faced with the Sheriff's Office today. And much of it is not dealing with actual law enforcement duties, but administrative duties. And I've got a varied and very diverse background into that.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzhugh. And we'll go to the second question now, and beginning with Mr. Fitzhugh. What will be your top priority as Rutherford County Sheriff if you are elected? And how will you achieve that goal? Please be specific.
Okay, well, one of the top priorities that, one thing that we've already accomplished and started on in this year's budget would be taking a look at our various divisions and trying to bring their pay levels up to that is at least comparable to outside. We're losing our people to outside agencies. We're not losing them to other police enforcement agencies. So we've already started on that, and we were successful with 2 divisions this year in increasing that. I want to continue, if I'm elected sheriff, to look at our other divisions and bring them more in line with outside industry so we're able to retain our employees. So that's one of the top priorities. Of course, obviously, is dealing with the growth in this community and securing adequate personnel to be able to address the problems that we've got in our community.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzhugh. And now, Mr. West, what will be your top priority as Rutherford County Sheriff if you are elected, and how will you achieve that goal? Please be specific.
My top priority, and it's because this is where my passion lies and where the majority of my career has been, is the safety of our children. I am in the schools every day as a school resource officer, and we know that there are still a lot of issues out there in our country. The violence is out there, and we have probably one of the best divisions in the United States, a group of SROs, and that's because of our teamwork with educators and families. But children, the safety of our children has got to be number one for me. I know there's so much more as well, but that is what is near and dear to my heart. So specifically, we're not going to rest on our laurels. We're going to keep working hard with school safety, and that's it. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. West. And now, Mr. West, we'll continue with you on the third question. Those of us here in the courthouse and in the viewing audience have varying levels of understanding of what does the sheriff do exactly. What do you see as the main responsibility or responsibilities of the Rutherford County Sheriff?
Well, the statutory duties are primarily upkeep of the jail and prisoners, serving court process now as well as courthouse security. But the sheriff's job also is to help protect the population outside pretty much the jurisdictions of the city governments. I know we have jurisdiction in throughout the whole county. But the sheriff primarily will be there to handle safety of our neighborhoods outside the city limits in our county, but and of course our keeping our schools safe as well.
Thank you, Mr. West. Mr. Fitzhugh, again, I'll repeat the question. The people here in the courthouse tonight and in our viewing audience have varying levels of understanding about what the sheriff's office does. So what do you see as the main responsibility or responsibilities of the Rutherford County Sheriff?
Well, outside of the 4 statutory duties that Bill has already mentioned, one of the things that we've got in the detention facility, we've got a city there, and the sheriff is in charge of running that city. It's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week operation. Not only that, but you also have a $44 million budget, and so you're answerable to the taxpayers and how you're spending their money, and you have to have a budgetary background to be able to adequately do that. So the main duties there is to adequately protect the public, but then also to wisely spend their money because they're the ones that's paying for it.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzhugh. We'll go to question 4 now, and Mr. Fitzhugh, you will answer this one first. Rutherford County is one of the fastest growing counties in the state. The population is booming. We all know that. At this time in Rutherford County, what do you think is the biggest challenge for the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office? And how would you address this challenge if you are elected sheriff? And again, Please be specific.
Okay, well, obviously, population, as the good comes in, you also have the bad that comes in with it. And we're charged with that responsibility to do proactive patrol to make sure that we are addressing the needs in the community to find the situations that may arise. The other situation that we've got in this county is we've got a drug problem, and we're addressing that, and we're addressing that specifically. Last year, we took in $2.2 million in street value drugs. So far, the 5 months of this year, we've already done $3.1 million of street value. So that's something that we are focusing on very heavily. We know we've got the problem, and we're addressing it.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzhugh. Mr. West, again, I'll repeat the question. Rutherford County is one of the fastest growing counties in the state. The population is booming. And at this time in Rutherford County, what do you think is the biggest challenge for the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department? And how would you address this challenge if you are elected? Please, again, be specific.
Just like Mike said, it is about the growth. We've got so many people moving in here, and with that, there's so many needs that are out there. The size of the jail, the number of inmates. We've got to keep working on programs and keep looking forward to cut down on recidivism. We've got to make room, try to help those folks when we can to get them back out in our society. Mental health issues in our community are a big issue as well, not only in the jail but out in the community. And where there's more and more training going on now for our officers where they can help people out a lot more when those issues come up, and we've just got to work together with more community resources to help those people, and as well as opioid crisis and other drugs that are out there as well. So.
Thank you, Mr. West. And we are now coming to our last question. And as you respond to this question, please include your closing remarks. And we'll start with Mr. West. Mr. West, there are many capable and qualified people in Rutherford County who could run for sheriff. Why are you running? And tell us what makes you the candidate to vote for.
I am running because I love this community and I love this department, and we have been through a lot in the last few years in our department. We are starting to work our way out of it, but it's just the passion that I have for the fellow officers that I want to be a part of that team effort to help things continue on. Working with children every day, my passion is with those children. Those children keep me excited all the time, working with teachers in such an exciting atmosphere as a school. And I feel that that's what's helped me to be qualified, to be prepared for this job. I'm good at developing teams, and as a sheriff, I will put together a good team that comes from different areas of our department, and a lot of people with a lot of knowledge, and I believe that's what sets me apart as being able to be the right candidate or be the right person for this job. I do want to thank you again for holding this forum. Like I said, my whole career, just about my whole career, has been here with the Sheriff's Department, and knowing that working with the young people in our county for so long, they have kept me motivated and inspired to do things, and I'm always talking to them that if you find something that you feel like is so important, you've got to stand up and you've got to try to fix that. You've got to try to be a part of the solution, and that's one thing and that's what I want to do as your sheriff. And so I would like to thank you again, and I would just like to ask the voters out there that please vote for me August 2nd for Sheriff of Rutherford County.
Thank you, Mr. Bill West. And now, Mr. Fitzhugh. Again, this is the last question, and please include your closing remarks. There are quite a number of people in Rutherford County who are qualified and capable of being sheriff. Why are you running for sheriff, and what makes you the candidate to vote for?
The reason I'm running for sheriff is I offered myself in 2017 when we faced the fact that we did not have a sheriff. I had abilities that I felt that I could bring to the sheriff's office to improve it. One of the things I did is I made promises when I came into office, evaluate management, line of staff. I've done that. Immediately bring the detention facility into compliance. I did that. Review the budget and eliminate unnecessary spending. I returned $2.3 million in my first 6 months. I did that. We reduced our budget by $500,000 on the following year. I did that. So basically, I have aligned our staff. I have already brought in good management, and they're in place. So we don't need to start all over and do that again. We need to carry forward what we've already started. I have proven myself as a leader to this community. I have proven myself as far as when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. I have proven this past year and a half the things that I have promised to this community that I would do, and I have done that. I ask everybody for their vote. I ask for your support. I want to continue what we started. I want to see us move this on into the future. One of the things I'm very proud of is when I took office, our detention was decertified. We are now being held from the Tennessee Corrections Institute as a model for the rest of this state. I'm very proud of what we've accomplished, and I want to continue with that.
Thank you, Mr. Mike Fitzhugh. Once again, on behalf of the League of Women Voters and Rutherford County, I want to thank both of the candidates for your participation today. I also want to recognize Brian Robertson, Director of Rutherford County Office of Information Technology, and Lee Harris, Communications Director, and their staff for their cooperation in presenting this program on Governmental Channel 19 and making it available on the county website. I want to encourage all Rutherford County citizens to go vote. Early voting begins July 13th and goes through July 28th. Election Day is August 2nd. Please exercise this important right to determine who will be Rutherford County Sheriff. Remember, every vote counts. And now let's close with a round of applause for the candidates.